Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Seeing as this week marks the end of Demon Slayer Season 2, which has been amazing by the way. I've loved almost every episode of Season 2. But this week I thought I'd unbox not one, but two Demon Slayer statues. So today, Sunday, I will be unboxing Giyuu, and tomorrow, the 14th, I'll be unboxing another character, which makes a little bit of sense to unbox tomorrow. That's a little bit of a hint of who that might be, but yeah, for those of you who have been watching Season 2, let me know your thoughts down below. If you already saw the latest episode, let me know what you thought of the whole season altogether. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into this unboxing. Alright, so here's the outer shipper box. This is by Giyuu Studio and Blackwing. I actually wasn't aware of this. I have another statue by Blackwing Studio, which I'm pretty excited about. I'll show you guys that sometime in the future. But other than that, it's a pretty boring shipper box, so let's get this out of the box. Alright, so I always find these boxes to be pretty impressive, so I always love showing them off. And here is the artwork on the front of this box. Beautiful picture here of Giyuu. There is a big tear here and a bit of a dent, so hopefully this was all packaged nicely and that didn't cause any damage to the statue. Turning it around, we just got the labels that we looked at before, the Giyuu Studio, Blackwing Studio, and the name of the character, Tomioka Giyuu. And on the back, we just got this simple image again of Giyuu. Front artwork, definitely more impressive. Nothing really on this side, and on the top, we just have the studios again. So let's go ahead and take this bad boy out of the box. Alright, as you guys can see here, there are two layers to this box. So I'm assuming we have the base down here and then the character up here. Let's go ahead and remove this tape here and take a look at the packaging. Alright, first up, the edition size plate is right here on the top of this styrofoam box. I guess they ran out of space inside. Let's take a quick look at this first. Alright, so here's the side you guys already saw. I have number 171 out of 260 made. Wow, that is a very small edition size there. So this is very limited. And then on the other side, we have an engraved image here of Giyuu. It looks pretty cool, but I don't really like displaying these with the statue, so I won't be using this. Alright, so here's the top layer. We have pieces of the dragon, Giyuu's hand, a bust, Giyuu's body, and then his two heads up there. Overall, really good packaging here. Alright, now I can see why the box was so thick. It's a super huge base. This is what Giyuu and the dragon will be sitting on. We got the sword, we got some of the water effects, the more pieces from the dragon. Man, I can't wait to put this together. Oh no, unfortunately, it looks like there are some broken pieces on here. So this is pretty loose. So yeah, this is broken off. That one should be fine. I think you can just stick that up here on the top. But this piece right here, yeah, this whole piece of the dragon also is attached to the base and it looks like it is broken. So let me carefully take this out of the packaging and we'll see what we can do about that. All right, so here's the base. It looks fine overall, but if I bring you guys closer into the top. So this piece right here, I'm not too worried about because it can just sit there and it'll be fine. But it did technically break off here. And then back here, you can see that huge space that's broken there. That's actually where this dragon should be. So this whole piece got broken off. And if I put it in place, you can see that there are still some pieces missing. And I'll show you guys here in a bit. They are all of these pieces that are here in the box. So yeah, this does really suck, but it does tend to happen with these sort of statues from time to time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna order some epoxy glue, and in a few days, I'll see if I can glue this together and have it look at least displayable. All right, so I just sent an email to the reseller. Hopefully they can help out with this issue. I asked either if they could send a replacement base or if there's any other options that I have at this moment, maybe even a partial refund would be fine. I also ordered some epoxy glue, so that should get here within a few days. And if I can get this to look displayable, then I will be happy if they can at least get me a partial refund. But we'll see. For now, I'm going to continue this unboxing. Hopefully there's no other issues, but let's take a look at the statue without the dragon piece, unfortunately. All right, so this next piece, I just saw it. It's a water effect. And it does sort of sit behind the dragon, the piece that broke off. So I'm going to place it there and attach the dragon. And for the sake of this video, I'll go ahead and display it this way just to show you guys what it would look like. But over time, I don't know if I would like to have it like this, because this sort of just kind of lays on top of this. I'm kind of afraid of over time, maybe this dragon piece can eventually break this water effect. So I don't want two broken pieces, but for the sake of this video, I think it will work. So let's go with that. All right, so I'm gonna put the dragon piece right there. And then this water effect just kind of sits like this. As you guys can see, it does support the dragon piece. It is a little bit wobbly, so we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't fall off during the process of recording this video, but there, it looks like it's supported just by this piece right here. Yeah, there is definitely contact here. So yeah, over time, I don't know, I feel like it might eventually break this part off. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and continue. Seems to be working fine so far. All right, so here's another piece of the dragon. Man, this thing looks beautiful. Just the scales, look at the scales. They look really nice, really well done. We also got some clear resin on here as well. And then here's the dragon claw. Looks awesome, I love dragons. So yeah, really beautiful piece right here. So let's go ahead and attach this over there. Hopefully adding this piece will help it lean towards this way and maybe take off some of the weight off of that support piece back there. Here's the other dragon's hand. This just goes attached into that slot that we saw earlier. It is magnetized, so it should fit in nicely. All right, now the dragon's head, this is where I feel like they got a little bit lazy, although I can understand why they decided to go this route. So with the eyes, there's no iris or pupil or anything. And I think the reason they did that is because this technically is a water dragon. It's not a real dragon. So I can understand why this dragon's face is all blue with not too many details on the face or anything. But it's just a little weird because over here with these scales, they just looked beautiful. So I don't know, I feel like they probably could have made this dragon's head look a little bit cooler, but overall, it still looks nice. So let's go ahead and attach him to the base here. All right, now that it's attached to the base, it actually does look pretty cool. However, things to point out is that you can really see the transition between the two pieces here. You can see a seam line here. There's also a few seam lines here from this arm that we attached to this piece. But overall, it looks amazing. Just sucks that it did come in broken. Oh, another thing I just noticed is that this support piece is supposed to go notched into this dragon. Although I don't know if I'll be able to do that because it's being supported by it. But let me try. Yeah, that's not happening. There's no way I can get that into that slot. So I'm just gonna leave it that way for now. But there are two whiskers that I missed, so I'm gonna go ahead and attach those now. Oh, they just go on the nose here. They're not magnetized or anything, so they're just held in there by friction, but they're not gonna be going anywhere. They're tiny little pieces and they are stuck in there pretty good. And also another thing to note is that the dragon is now fully balanced on itself because it's not coming into contact with this piece anymore. It's just in place there. It's kind of coming against this rock here, which is also broken, but I don't think this rock is going to be going anywhere. So yeah, I much prefer it leaning against the rock than this resin piece here. I am still going to take it apart after this video. All right, this next piece is a little lantern that goes attached on the back here of this rock. You guys can see that notch back there. The cool thing too is that they actually gave me this little battery with which is basically the light. You click on this little button here and it turns on the light. But this is the first time that I ever get a battery shipped out with my statue. Usually they don't ship this with the statue. You have to buy your own, so I don't have to waste the battery for this one. So this battery just goes in this little hole facing down. And then this goes on top of the lantern. You make sure to match this circle with this magnet here. And there you have it. I'll be honest though, the LED is not too bright, like you can barely see the light. We'll see how it looks in the dark later, but with these huge LED lights flashing on here, you can't see it at all basically. So I'm just gonna go ahead and install it. All right, so here's Giyuu's body sculpt, and oh my god, this thing looks amazing. All of the textures on the Haori here looks really nice. Definitely a lot better than my G5 WCF scale one. Let me pull it out just so you guys can take a look at that one. All right, so here they are side by side. On the G5 Studio one, it's a lot smoother. And for Gen Studio larger scale, I think this is a 1/7 scale, you can definitely see all of the texture going on there on both sides. Here's the red side. Overall, it looks really cool. And his pose is not as dynamic as other statues. There have been quite a few Giyuus that have come out since this one released. And I still really like this one. Despite the break that happened, I mean, that's sometimes it's just inevitable with this hobby. I still really like this one. It's still one of my favorite Giyuus. I love how he's calm and composed, and I just think he looks really cool. There's also some texturing done here on his, I wouldn't call these socks. What are these things, like bands? I don't know. But it's textured as well. The socks too, you can see all that going on. His Demon Slayer Corp uniform though is just smooth, and it does attract some fingerprints. You can kind of see there are a few scratches. But overall, still looks really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the base now. Might need to take this whisker off for a little bit. Man, his body is actually pretty big just compared to the dragon there. Personally, I would have liked to see the dragons slightly bigger, similar to how the Susanos look in my top studio statues for Naruto. Still looks cool though, I still do really like it. All right, they did sculpt both of his hands separately, and it looks like they're both holding a sword. So that's strange. I don't remember Giyuu being a dual wielder, but I guess maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to double check on that. But both hands done nicely. Let's go ahead and put them on, and then we'll take a look at his swords. So this guy here goes on this arm, and then this one gets attached here in the front. All right, now one thing I'm really starting to love are these little mini busts that some statues provide whenever there's multiple head sculpts. So far, I think I have an Ichigo that comes with an extra bust, and I can't remember. I think that might be it. Oh, I remember now. The Goku Black came with one too. That one was amazing. I loved that one. I wish I could have kept it, but this one I am keeping, and I like it. So let's take a quick look at both faces here on this bust statue, and I'll decide which one I want to put on the statue. So the first one here. All right, so this first face here, it's just normal Giyuu. There's no scars or anything on his face, no blood damage. So it's pretty bare bones face, but he does look nice. I actually kind of love how his hair kind of casts a shadow over his face. I don't know, I just think it looks kind of cool. Maybe that's just my lighting though, which I do apologize for my lighting. It does kind of overexpose his face a little bit. In person, he looks really nice. He doesn't look quite as yellow as he does in the video. But his blue eyes look nice. The hair sculpt was also done really nicely as well. I love all of the spikes. It looks just as I remember him from the anime. So let's take a closer look at the second face now. All right, now this face is basically the same. The only difference is this mark, which might be a spoiler for later in the series, because I don't think I've ever seen him with this mark. To me, it looks like it might be a demon mark. So I don't know, but it does look cool. I kind of do prefer this one over the base face. So I'm gonna go ahead and display Giyuu with this face right here. And there he is. Oh, I totally forgot about the blades. Let's take a look at that now. All right, so I was right. He does only have one sword. This part right here is the sheath, which this hand will be holding on to. And this one was a little bit tricky. It took me a little bit of time off screen to figure out how it goes on there, but it does come apart, and you have to stick this piece under the belt, and then this piece goes through Giyuu's hand. So let's go ahead and put it together. It's all right. I got the bottom part of the sheath in. Now I just gotta connect this piece. Come on, go backwards. There we go. All right, that wasn't too bad. You can barely see it though, to be honest. Would have been nicer if there was some more contrast there, because it does blend in with the Demon Slayer Corp uniform, and then the bottom part of the Haori is also black. But let's move on to one of the coolest part of this statue, and it is his blade. So you guys probably can't tell, but it has some weight to it, and I feel like this is made of real metal. So it's a really nice blade. Here's the hilt. You guys can take a look at it. It looks really nice. And it looks like even this red part of the hilt is made of metal as well. It would have been cool if they put actual like cloth for the white portion of the sword, but no, that is just plastic. You can tell right away. But really cool sword. There are some characters here as well. And yeah, the only thing that concerns me is that it's heavy and it's gonna be held by this hand, which is just magnetized to Giyuu's hand. So hopefully it is able to support the weight of this sword. So for this one, I think I'm gonna take his hand off. I'm gonna put the sword in place. Which way does it go into? There we go. Okay, I think that's held on pretty nicely. Oh crap, I put it on backwards. I don't know why, it doesn't feel like it goes in this way though. There we go. Had to do it off screen. All right, so there he is with the sword. It looks really cool. It's as if the sword is starting to create this water effect behind him. Ignore that piece right there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to connect that piece, to be honest. But if I just kind of hide it like this, it looks awesome. So I just need to be careful with the placement when I put him on display on my shelves. All right, but we're not quite done yet. There is one more piece here, this mask, which is another Easter egg on this statue. It's possibly also another spoiler because we have a slashed face here. I don't think I've ever seen Giyuu with this mask before, but I could be wrong. So it might be something that he wears later down the line in the series, but yeah, this guy just goes attached here on the bottom on the sub base, and it looks pretty cute right there. So now the statue is complete. Let's go to a figure showcase, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts after that. Enjoy. Alright guys, so time for my final thoughts here, and we'll start from the bottom up. So for the base, I mean, I thought the base looked amazing. If it wasn't for this part that broke off, I honestly would have given it like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, but because it did come broken, I'd probably have to give it a 7, but the LED was super bright on the base. Oh, you know what? I don't even have it connected. There we go. So yeah, the reason I want to give it a 10 out of 10 if it didn't come broken is because the LED looks awesome. Like, it's super bright. Most times with LEDs, they're not this bright, but this one looks really good in the dark. I showed you guys some images. Also, the lantern here, you could see it in the dark, not so much in the light, but once you turn off the light, it does look pretty nice. I just wish there was a way that the LED could have basically gone throughout the whole dragon. That would have looked awesome. One thing to note though, if you do get this statue, is that it doesn't come with a USB cable. I couldn't find it. I looked all over the box, but it wasn't there, so I had to find my own. It is a mini USB cable. So if you have one lying around, you should be fine. I have a bunch, so I'm good. But yeah, because of all of the shortcomings, I'd have to say that the base is a 7 out of 10. Now the body sculpt itself, I honestly can't find any issue with it, other than I guess the fingerprint magnet that at the black portion of the suit can sometimes be. So I'd have to give the body sculpt a 9 out of 10. It looks really nice. I do really love the way Giyuu looks. For the face sculpt, looking at him closely, let me grab this guy over here. So I don't know, his face, it looks cool, like it does look like Giyuu, but something is missing there, so I can't quite give it a high score. I'd probably also give it a 7 out of 10, same grade as the base. Now for personal enjoyment, I really like the design. I mean, I thought the concept was solid. I love the dragon on here, the base, the LEDs, all that stuff just makes me really do love this design and this concept. So much so that I'm able to overlook the breaks. I don't mind having to fix them myself. I hope that I can get a partial refund or something, but even if I don't, I won't be too mad because I do overall like the design. I mean, there is this part here that I've never had a statue where I couldn't attach a piece to another piece, and this is the first time that that's happened, so that does suck. But like I said, overall I do like the design. Even while I'm talking to you guys, I just can't stop looking at the statue. I just think it looks really nice. One thing too that I'm noticing is the sword. When I was sticking it in and out, it did rub against the white paint and some of the paint did scrape off, so that does suck. So there's just a few things here and there. So for my personal enjoyment, I'd say I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. So editing me will put the final score somewhere on the screen. But that is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about the statue in the comment section down below. What would you rate it based off of everything that I showed off in the video? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Now I need to go buy some epoxy glue to fix this thing. Hopefully it sticks.